Hi there, I'm Dave, one of Byron Shire Council's bush regenerators. I'm here at the Bayward swamp in Suffolk Park. This beautiful patch of bushland is one of about 50 sites across the Shire that the Byron Shire bush regeneration team regularly work on to protect the amazing biodiversity we have in this region, thanks to the environmental levy. The area we maintain on this side alone is over 25,000 square metres, so it's a big job. Now, did you know that the Byron Shire is one of the most diverse regions in Australia for plants and animals? We're exceeded only by the southwest tip of WA and the wet tropics in far north Queensland. So we come in a close third, which is pretty awesome, I reckon. Now, unfortunately, the same great conditions that have created this amazing diversity we have in our region has also contributed to the fact that the Byron Shire has amongst the highest number of environmental weed species in Australia. And weeds are second only to land clearing when it comes to being threats to biodiversity. So it's really important that we do something about all the environmental weeds we have in our shire. Now today, I'd like to talk to you about what we in the bush regeneration industry call garden escapes. Garden escapes are plants that were introduced to an area to be planted into gardens, usually because they're pretty. They then escape into local bushland and become environmental weeds. These plants, or garden escapes, have a number of ways of escaping. Some use the wind or water to escape. Others attach themselves to people, animals or birds. Some sneak over or under your back fence when you're not watching. And others, unfortunately, are being dumped over the back fence and into bushland. Now, this is a huge problem for our bushland and biodiversity. Instead of having an area of bushland which is made up of hundreds or even thousands of species of plants, which will support thousands of species of animals, birds and insects, we end up with areas of bushland that are completely dominated by just 2 or 3 species of environmental weeds, and this in turn only supports a few species of animals. Now, here at the Bayward swamp, the Byron Shire bush regeneration team have been working for many years removing garden escapes and environmental weeds, and as a result you can see that we have this amazing diverse and healthy ecosystem made up of hundreds of species of plants, which, as I said, will now support thousands of species of animals, birds and insects. Now, just metres away we have an area of this reserve that the bush regen team have not yet worked on. Now, as you can see, this area where we've not yet worked is completely dominated by garden escapes. This one here is ground asparagus, which is easily spread by dumping and also by little birds, as it has these irresistible little red berries. This one here is called inch plant, and it can spread by the smallest piece, an inch, so it can easily be spread by dumping or by water or by animals. As you can see, they've completely dominated, and we don't have any of those lovely native plants germinating because this is just too thick and the seeds don't germinate. So while we do have some old canopy species, which were obviously here before the garden escapes, once these older trees die of old age, there's nothing coming up to replace them. So eventually this ecosystem will be completely dead, and it's not supporting anywhere near the number of animals, birds and insects that the beautiful area we have behind us is. Now, unfortunately, many people in the Shire are still dumping vegetation over their back fence. This is damaging our environment, it's costing council money, it's illegal and you can be fined, and worst of all, it's creating more work for me. Now, I'm sure no one wants to do that, So, what can I do to help, I hear you ask? Well, firstly, please don't dump vegetation into bushland. This includes any part of any plant, includes soil, grass cuttings, and of course, palm fronds. Secondly, have the plants in your garden identified, and if you have any environmental weeds, get rid of them before they have a chance to escape. And yes, even if they're pretty. Thirdly, you can plant local native species. These plants are well adapted to this area, so they'll do well. They'll benefit our local wildlife, and if they do escape, they won't become a problem because they're native. Brunswick Valley Landcare have produced a great book on what plants to use in this area, and many local native nurseries sell local native plants. Anyway, thanks for listening. I have to go back to work now.